Hi guys, in this video I'm going to walk you through how you can keep your holiday marketing on brand throughout the season. I know that it can be so tempting to lean towards things like changing up your entire marketing to fit the red and greens that you're seeing all over the place, but that doesn't really help us with brand recognition, and that is so important when you're a personal brand like you are when you're a realtor. So how do you do it? How do you create holiday marketing that is a little bit whimsical and a little bit fun while still maintaining your being true to your brand? I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let me get myself out of the way. And in order to show you how to do this, we're using the holidays, which is our marketing bundle from the shop. You can find it at shop4streetcreative.com. I will be showing you how to do it with social media posts, but you can take anything that you learn in this video and apply it to all of your holiday marketing across the board. So what I'm going to do in order to show you is head over to canva.com/colors. And when you are there, you have the option of heading over to color palettes, and Canva will create a whole bunch of color palettes for you. So what I'm going to do is just choose random color palettes and show you how you could use these to create a cohesive branded marketing, holiday marketing plan without changing things up too much. So I'm going to select this guy here to start off. And when we first look at this color palette, what we're seeing is a whole lot of not holiday colors, right? Like if this were your color palette, which is very soft and elegant, you might not know how to make this holiday centered. So you might veer off course and head into a world of greens and reds, just thinking that there's nothing to be done. But that would not be true. If your color palette doesn't lend itself to holiday colors, think winter colors. Winter colors are also holiday colors. So think blues and whites, jewel tones, warm tones, cool tones. You want very cool, jewel rich colors for winter. That's what we think of. That's what resonates with us during the winter. So I'm going to take this coffee pot color here and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to head back over to our holiday post. I'm going to use this one as the example. Head over to the color menu and paste the hex code that I just grabbed, and Canva's going to automatically populate that color for me. Now I'm going to pop it in. You're going to have to make a few adjustments, like to the color of fonts. So the contrast makes it pop. And then this guy is getting totally lost now. So we need to change this color. I'm going to head back over to canva.com/colors and copy a second color. I want to stay away from these bubblegum colors because they're really not holiday. So I'm going to stick with these deeper, richer colors here. Then I'm going to change this guy and okay. And when I do change this guy, you're going to notice that it's kind of getting lost a little bit. So I'm going to cheat, and it's totally okay to do this. I'm going to select the color picker, and then I'm going to just I'm going to lighten this color ever so slightly so it pops a bit. It's still going to give off the same vibe. No one's going to be able to tell that you've changed the color a shade, but what it will do is it'll help it pop out of this particular template. And now you have, my friend, a holiday card that has your brand colors on it. If you're thinking to yourself, I need a little bit more, I need it to scream holidays a little bit more, head over to the Elements tab and type in something that is winter related or holiday related. So my go-to is always a snowflake. I think that's the easiest way to kind of bring the holiday season into design. So I'm just gonna shrink this guy a bit, make him white, and pop it here. I could even pop it over the O.
Holiday, and then I'm gonna do it for all the O's. I'm just gonna copy and paste and do it over here.
And now we have now we know it's the holidays. So that's an option as well, to add a few more elements to the design that showcase that it's holiday, but you really don't need it. I think saying holiday decor tips and then having a picture that is on brand for you, that is another thing to mention. If you are doing holiday marketing, make sure that your imagery that you use is still on brand. So this color palette that we were using was very soft and elegant. So if you're going to talk about holiday decor tips, when we go to the photo section here, we're going to type in holiday decor. And then I'm going to stay clear of anything that's not soft and elegant. So this photo already is very soft and elegant, so we're just going to stick with that. Let me do winter decor. But you know, this one is soft and elegant. This one is definitely soft and elegant. So you're choosing photos that represent your brand style as well. And that will keep everything looking on brand without veering too off course where people are just like, I have no idea who is posting this anymore. Like, it doesn't seem like the person that I was following. So that is a great way to incorporate your color palette. But what if your color palette is like completely not Christmassy? Like, let's say you have a color palette that's all different shades of blue like this guy. Well, lucky for you, blue and whites are naturally winter Christmas colors. So you would, if this were your color palette, again, I'm choosing the richest color palette, color that I have in my palette, and I'm heading over here. Let me choose a new, get this guy. I'm pasting that color code in and selecting it. And then I'm getting rid of this because it's a little bit too rustic and my brand is not rustic. Now there's an overlay here, a transparency. So I'm going to reduce the transparency to really have that blue color pop. I'm going to change the font color. Okay, and then I'm going to ask myself if this cursive writing is on brand, and if it's not, we're going to change it. So we are going to create, let's say we had a modern brand. Okay, and then we're going to reduce the font size to something that's a little bit more elegant, and then probably adjust the spacing.
Okay. And then you can choose to either.
Okay, now another thing that you can do is to add brand recognition to this would be to add your logo. So you can always add your logo to the bottom of these posts or to your marketing, and that will also give a little extra boost of, yeah, remember me? I have used different colors in the past, because the truth is, you might be using, that might not be your dominant brand color. It might be in there, but you might not be using it regularly. You might be using a combination of these two here. And if that's the case, well, when you start showing up with this darker color, it might be a little bit confusing for people. So that's why it's so important that if you're changing any element that your audience is not used to keep everything else as consistent as possible. It is so tempting to do what you see out there for holiday marketing, like cursive writing and you know, certain colors. But if you just change one thing and keep everything else consistent, you're good to go. So a great way to do that is to just pop your logo onto something like this where you're using a non-dominant brand color, and then you're good. You're good. So let me go over here, and are they gonna give me the logo that I was using? Yeah. So let's just say this was your logo. You're gonna pop that in. I'm gonna shrink this a bit. And then I'm gonna pop this on the bottom. And then at least that brand recognition is there. And then the third thing that I want to show you is if you have a color palette that is, which one? Let's say this one. If I look at this, I am not thinking that any of these colors will work for the holiday season. So if this is my color palette, I am out. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But this is what I urge you to do. You're going to pick any one of the colors that are in here. So let's say this coral color. And then we're going to head over here. And you're thinking right now that coral color is not going to work. But we're going to paste it in. And then we're going to do what we did before, which was our little trick of cheating the color system. And we are going to change this color up. We're going to drag it right down until it becomes this rich, beautiful, dark hue that is very wintry, very holiday season, but it's still in the same color family. So we are going to change all these so that there's some contrast and pop. Okay. And now with these, what are they called? Champagne flutes, we're going to use a secondary color. So this dusty rose is perfect for that, just to bring in some brand recognition, just to bring in a little bit of the brand. Okay. We're not inundating our new holiday color with a whole bunch of colors that won't work. We're just adding a little pop. And if you still feel like this isn't enough, again, bring in some elements that do scream holiday season. I love twigs for that. Twigs are I love twigs. Like twigs are just they just really resonate. But you might not want to put too much because you already have these champagne flutes. So you can either delete the flutes entirely so that you can add a more wintry feel to the design, or you can just do that. Okay, another thing that I might do is add a couple snowflakes. You know I love snowflakes, but this time when I add the snowflakes, I am going to add one in my secondary color, and then I'm going to copy and add the second one white so that it does bring, again, my color palette into the mix, but it still looks winter wonderlandy. So those are my suggestions. Again, to recap, what you want to do is stay consistent. So if you have a color palette and fonts and brand imagery, make sure you bring that right into your holiday marketing. There's no need to change it. If you have a brand palette that does not work for holiday, then I've shown you a few tricks that you can use to make it work. So number one would be to use one of your brand colors that maybe you don't use that often, but you bring it into the mix this time because it works. And then you add things like your logo to make sure that people remember that this is you. And another thing that you can do is cheat completely and bring in a color that you use all the time. Head over to the color library and the color chooser, and then just slide directly down just a little bit to make it richer and deeper. Still the same color family, you're just darkening it up a bit, making it a little bit richer for winter. And that, my friend, is how you keep your marketing consistently on brand for the holiday season. And if you have any questions or comments, pop them in the comment section below. And make sure that you join our Facebook group, which is called The Design Den, and it's specifically for realtors and how to up-level your marketing across the board. And that's it. Happy designing, friends.